Deep in a heavily forested area near Wiscasset, Maine, lies the town of Alna and the headquarters of the beloved Wiscasset, Waterville and Farmington Railway. Opened in 1989, the WW&F has been reconstructing part of the original route that was closed in 1933 and gathering a collection of historic and new equipment that's slowly coming together. They say once you step foot into the area, it's like you've traveled to a different world at a different time. Near the engine shed, a little gem is on standby waiting for her passengers to board, that being the railroad's mascot engine, number 9. She holds the distinction of not only the oldest operating main two-footer, but the sole surviving two-footer from the late 1800s. Built by the Portland Works in 1891, the engine started life working on the Sandy River Railroad as their number 5, hauling passenger and freight trains. When the Sandy River expanded its reach further into the woods of Maine, it was given a new name, the Sandy River and Rangeley Lakes, and number 5 was renumbered to number 6. She was then sold to the 4-mile Kennebec Central in 1924, where it would be renumbered to number 4. In 1929, the line shut down, and number 4 was sold again to the Wiscasset, Waterville, and Farmington, and renumbered to their number 9. But her tenure was short-lived, as number 9 would be sidelined in 1933 with cracked frames. Thankfully, number 9 was rescued by Frank Ramsdell in 1937 to be stored in the barn in Connecticut, making her the first two-footer to get preserved long before L.S.D. Atwood's acquisitions in the 1940s. There she sat for 6 decades until 1995, when she was leased to the preserved WW&F, originally as a display piece. But in 2000, volunteers took on the task of restoring number 9 to operational condition. It took 15 years, but number 9 finally moved under her own steam and pulled her first trains for the first time in 82.5 years. Quite the adventure for a little tea kettle.
Trick of the day.
Well, the engine is cold and watered, and the passengers have boarded. Let's take a ride with number 9 as she takes us on a ride through the forests to SeaLyon Farm, where the Steam and Sleighs event is taking place. As number 9 couples up to the train, the European audience might recognize a certain feature on the engine and passenger car. The vacuum hoses have recently been installed on some of the equipment, with plans to have the trains operated by vacuum brakes. But for now, they're just decorative, and when something goes wrong with the hose pipes in future, you better make sure you have newspapers and a leather bootlace on hand. line follows a twisting and turning route that has been carved through the deep, lush forest over 100 years ago. The train passes infamous spots like Cockeye Curve and Humison Brook Trestle as it climbs the gentle grade on its way north to our destination. Alna Center is the halfway point on the line, and used to be a turnaround point before the railway's major expansion began around 10 years ago. As we come to our stop, we see a large crowd of visitors who are waiting to catch the train back to Alna after catching the first run of the day. And the way the passengers get from the train to the farm is by wagon pulled by horses and tractors. SeaLyon Farm is famous for its lavender flowers and fresh produce, and has partnered with the railway to provide some of their most creative events so far. Being such a tight-knit community, the cooperation between the two groups has been mutually beneficial for everyone, which is exactly what was hoped for by the people involved. Everyone has boarded the wagons and are heading back down to the base to catch the train home.
Yeah, that was fun. Remember that huge pit?
That was great.
That was annoying. They would throw like full pallets. And
Remember, my
there.
coat was ruined
Yeah.
after that.
As we wait for the train to arrive, one will notice a stretch of track that goes beyond our stop. This is part of the major extension that they call the Mountain Road. It's a recent addition to the WW&F that added an additional mile and a half up the steep grade, having been officially opened in the summer of 2022. Soon enough, our train arrives with a new load of passengers who are looking forward to visiting the farm.
Why didn't you see this coming?
Oh, good.
Support the locals and do that. Last time because it's chilly with it.
After running around the train, number 9 is coupled up to the caboose, and we're on our way back to the railroad's headquarters. get halfway to our destination, we pass by the facility of the main locomotive and machine works. Headed by Brian Fanslau, the company specializes in helping to restore and repair boilers for steam locomotives, from the small two-footers and cog engines of Mount Washington right up to the Conway Scenic steamers and a future Maine Central Excursion Star. We've arrived back at the grounds of the WW&F, and the passengers are off the train to be treated to a sight not often seen anymore. Number 9 on a wooden turntable, pushed by pure manpower. Now that she's turned around, number 9 is off to be serviced before going up the line one more time. Inside the newly built 3-stall roundhouse, one will notice a familiar face sitting in one of the berths. Monson Railroad number 4, from the Maine Narrow Gauge Railroad Museum in Portland, Maine. Having last operated in 2014, the engine has been in semi-retirement, waiting for her turn on restoration. She was shipped up to Alna alongside some of the Portland equipment as part of a partnership between the two tourist railroads. Near the workshop is another ambassador from Portland, Bridgeton and Saco River number 8, the last 2-foot locomotive built for a U.S. carrier. At the time these pieces of footage were recorded, number 8 was just a month away from turning a century old, being built by Baldwin in 1924. But she and number 4 won't be silent for long. In April of this year, the Maine Narrow Gauge reached its financial goal to restore both engines to operation by the start of the 2030 decade. And soon, the WW&F will have a new build of their own in the form of engine number 11. This engine is based on the largest forney the WW&F ever had, and is perfectly suitable for tackling the mountain road. The sight of all 6 forneys in operation at the same place at the same time will be a sight to behold and definitely draw the crowds. the future is brighter than ever for the two-footers. But for now, it's just another day on the Wiscasset, Waterville, and Farmington, with engine number 9 giving train rides to visitors and continuing a 147-year heritage.
Here I